Hey everybody, still Mitchell. Oh, sorry. I'm just sharing. There I am. Okay. So I decided to come on tonight and have a little chat. I have been very busy today. My husband had surgery this morning. We were supposed to be at the hospital for 9:30 for him to go in, and he and I went there earlier because they always have you fill out paperwork. So even though I had everything that they needed, I needed to fill out paperwork. So I went there and did that. Finally, after waiting, they were a little overbooked. The doctor comes in at about 11:30 and took Derek, my husband, into surgery to have, he's diabetic, and he has surgery on his foot because he had a diabetic ulcer. It is basically a hole that ate through his foot, and he had like a big thick gash across the top of his foot. It's pretty dangerous. So, if it doesn't get treated. So we've done all sorts of stuff and it just wasn't going away, so the doctor wanted to go inside and kind of make sure the infection wasn't in the bone, and if it is, to kind of clear it away. So he did that, and we came home. Today also happens to be our son's 12th birthday. But it's bittersweet, not just because my baby is 12, but because tomorrow is a very hard day for us as a family. My husband and I tried to give everything we possibly could to our son. That means siblings, a good education, a nice safe place to live, that sort of thing. Well, that didn't always work out. James was going to turn 5 on April 1st, 2009, and we found out that we were going to have a baby, and he was finally going to get the little brother or little sister that he wanted. We found that out New Year's Eve of 2008, which would have brought him into January of 2009, being pregnant. And that's what happened. And we were doing all of our appointments, going for all our checkups. We were bringing James in with us. He was so excited. He got to listen to the baby's heartbeat. And we were trying to pick out names and weren't sure what to do. And I had read the name Delilah. And as soon as I read it, it made me think of where we live. There's the nighttime radio. And Delilah came on as like a soft bedtime love song music hour, or maybe a couple hours. And she's a disc jockey, and we loved listening to her. So we said, oh, you know what, maybe Delilah would be good. So that's what we chose, was Delilah. Hi, Antonia. And then I was struggling. Okay, we got the first name, now what do we do for a middle name? And I was going back and forth, and we hadn't decided. And then James turned 5 April 1st. The following day, we were finally going to the doctors to find out what sex the baby was, if it was a boy or a girl. And we were 18 weeks and 2 days. And we went, and they did the normal stuff, step on the scale. Oh, you've gained this amount of pounds. That's good. Your circumference of your belly is this amount. That sort of thing. Blood pressure was good, all that. And then They had me lay back and we were doing the ultrasound, and the tech had a look on her face. And when she wasn't talking to us, I knew something was wrong. Turns out I was right. They could not find Delilah's heartbeat. Delilah had passed the day after James turned 5. So April 2nd is Delilah's birthday. Because later that night, I was told I could go to the hospital, that she had passed. And I could go to the hospital and have her removed. Or I could see if nature took its course. Nature took its course. And before I could get to the hospital that night, while I was waiting for the ambulance, I had Delilah. And I went to the hospital, and the nurses were not listening to the fact that I had my baby, as tiny as she was. And they kept trying to make me go into labor and perform a D&C. And I struggled for many years to get pregnant after James. So this was like a double crushing blow. And it was very hard. And that's where we stood. Well, I have PCOS. It's polycystic ovarian syndrome. We found this out because I kept getting pregnant and losing the baby. And when I did get pregnant, it took a lot to get pregnant. I have had 6 since Delilah, I have had 6 miscarriages. And I was bleeding very heavily for my monthlies that seemed to last all month except for maybe 3 days. So obviously we knew something was wrong, and I went to a doctor, and he told me I had PCOS. Now, I was also very dangerously anemic. So they gave me iron pills, and the problem with that was I was losing so much blood that I was on the verge, it wouldn't replenish itself. So I was on the verge of needing a blood transfusion. So I went and talked to the doctor and said, okay, what do we do? And he said that I had 2 options. I could do the blood transfusion and might have to have them regularly because I would still be bleeding, or I could do a hysterectomy. Well, I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do, so I ended up doing a hysterectomy because it was my life or not. Hold on.